All right, everyone. Welcome here to the Brevard Sports Network and our continuing coverage of Pop Warner football. 12U game on deck. It helps if I grab the right rosters. All right, here we go. Sorry about getting the device. I almost forgot. What about the rosters? Here we go. We got them. And that's going to be a little squib kick. And that one picked up and brought down after a gain of about 5 yards on the return. All right, let me move this here. Get a chance to see the offense here of the 12U Deland Bulldogs. Timeout call by Deland. That's interesting. Tell you what, that's something a coach might have. Coach might be a little irritated with that one. The fact that he had to call a timeout before the first play of the game. Here we go. Quarterback in the gun. Quarterback is number 20. He's going to take it himself, and he's got some room. And there's going to be a flag. So he picked up a first down, but there's a flag being thrown. And the way it looks like it's coming back, holding on the offense. First play from scrimmage. That's number 20, Colton Sieg. It's either Sieg or Siege. S-I-E-G. Or I guess it could still be Sig. If the family is in the chat, please let me know if I'm saying that incorrectly, and if I am, please put it how it's phonetically would be said so I can make that correction, because I want to make sure I get these student athletes' names right. But here we go again, holding. That'll back them up 10 yards. It's 1st and 20. Number 20 fires deep downfield and overthrows his receiver. Sieg overthrows his tallest receiver. Number 28 was Sebastian Genualdi. Sieg fires. He's got number 4, and that's it was intercepted, but then stripped out. Number 4 comes down with it. Gabriel Cooper on the reception. That ball was initially intercepted, and Cooper ripped the ball out of the defender's hands as he was falling to the ground, which gives him the reception. I guess, because ladies and gentlemen, I told you, fireworks. Sieg going to push forward, and now he pulls it out. And oh, my goodness. And, yep, off the sound of the hit alone was going to draw the flag. That's helmet to helmet. Yeah, I mean, look, his helmet went under the chin of Sig, and Sig took a shot. I mean, good call by the officials, but again, just by sound alone, you knew the flag was going to come flying. I borderline felt it up here. There's number 26 on the handoff. I'm going to say he's down. It's number 28, Sebastian Genualdi. And now, even though he was ruled down, coach yelling out to his team, both hands on that football. Sieg steps, fires, overshoots his receiver. That's number 31, his intended receiver, Liam Umaker. Umaker. And it's going to bring up 3rd down and about 7 for the Bulldogs. There's the handoff. There's number 26. Ball's out. Ball's out. And it's a scoop. And ball goes to the Satellite Beach Scorpions. Number 51 on the recovery. I don't have a 51 on my roster. That's probably not him. So I don't know who had that return, but the ball, that's the second time that drive the ball was put on the ground. After coach deliberately told his guys, secure the football. And now here comes the 12U Satellite Beach Scorpions. And they're going to go with the beast package. And there's number 11 carrying the football. That's Braddock. And Braddock already knows. Braddock already knows what his father told him. Brady Braddock immediately put 2 hands on the football. As soon as he took the snap, 2 hands on the football, going through that A-gap, because you know that's what Deland's looking to do. Deland's looking to say, you're not the only one that can strip footballs now, and they're going to try for the strip. I have a feeling this is going to be a very physical game right here. And Satellite Beach only needs to get their players, their MPR players. Everyone's got to get at least 8 plays. And Braddock pushing the pile. And that just might be enough for a first down, depending on where they spot it. It's 3rd and 1. And Brady Braddock's going to push the pile forward, and that will be enough for a McCann Group first down. The McCann Group, proud partners of the Brevard Sports Network. All-day coverage sponsored by the McCann Group Beachside. Keller Williams Real Estate. Contact Leah at 239-297-9658 or contact Kelly at 239-297-9504. And there we go again. They call this the beast package. And it's literally basically one athlete Currently right now it's Brady Braddock. Under center, he picks a gap right, a gap left. And whichever gap he picks, you just drive the pile. And honestly, it works. When you get your linemen to do what they're doing, I mean, their linemen right now are getting 3-4 yards push off the ball. Watch this. Boom. I mean, look at okay. So now as I go to point it out, they make me look dumb. But I mean, you're seeing it. The linemen are getting low, rise up. And as we all know, if anyone's played football, low man wins, especially in the trenches. And now they do a full-on out substitution. It's going to bring up 3rd down and about 4. Under center now, they're in that wishbone formation. And they give it to number 56. That's Miller. I believe Tajarion Miller. The new quarterback is Chase Tennant. Comes in to run that wishbone offense. And I love watching him run this wishbone. I forget who the other back is in the backfield. And look at that, just powering his way through. Miller continuing to fight hard for those inside yards. And it's going to be the first quarter water break here in the first quarter with 3:23 left to go here in the first quarter. I'd like to thank the McCann Group for stepping up and being sponsors of Satellite Beach. Pop Warner. They are the company that helped step up and make sure that you could see almost all of their home games this year. There was 1 week we didn't do, but we got it worked out. Again, the McCann Group, Keller Williams Real Estate. Information is at the top of your screen. And there's a handoff there to Braddock. And Braddock will pick up a couple of yards. Make it 3rd down and about 8. Matthias Gomez. Checks out of the ball game. Landon Kearney is the other back in that wishbone. So it's Braddock, Miller, and Kearney. And there's Kearney, just as I call his name, and he'll take a shot, but picking up a few good yards. It's going to bring up 3rd down, 3rd and about 5. 4 or 5. But again, and that's just what this offense loves to do. They love to tell the offensive lineman, we get to do your favorite thing. You get to run block. You get to move somebody else against their will. And that's what makes football such a demoralizing game. At least when you're the one getting moved. And is that a false start or is that... Thought I saw movement on the offensive line, but I also could have been mistaken. That's 5 yards, and that will be 1st and goal inside the 7-yard line. And this is where that wishbone gets real dangerous. Gives it to Miller, and Miller spins off a tackle, falls forward, and he's in. Touchdown, Satellite Beach to Jarion Miller. And they're going to go for the point after. And give it to Kearney. And Kearney's going to get in for the 2-point, or for the point after. So Satellite Beach goes up 7-0 with 1:21 left to go here in the first quarter. And look, that's what this offense does too. This offense, it's meant to kill clock and just wind it down and demoralize you. So yes, some of these runs here out of the wishbone are only picking up 3-4 yards. But that over time, the defensive line gets tired. Come third quarter, now those 3 or 4 yard gains are now picking up 7, 8, 9 yard gains because you are just so tired in the legs. And again, as an offensive lineman, you just get to lean on somebody, and you're watching the will to play to play football leave their body, leave their eyes. Again, I'm not saying that's happening right now, but over time, that's kind of what happens. Coach is having trouble with the kicking tee. All right, now we're ready to go. It's number 13, Matthias Gomes. And Deland just does a good job at falling on it. And here we go. Now we get to see this Deland offense with 1 minute left to go here in the first quarter. And looks like trying to run a little bit of that wing tee action. With Sig. Sig hands off on the end around. And number 7 there to make the tackle. That's Braden Salvucci. And let me check something real quick. There's Colton Sig. And he'll be taken down in the backfield. And that will be the end of the first quarter with your score. Satellite Beach 7, Deland 0. We'll be back with second quarter action right here on the Brevard Sports Network. All right. I don't know what to do. And again, that Satellite Beach defense not having any of it. That's Miller. So not only is he one of your star backs, but yes, he is a star defensive lineman that gets in there and is not afraid to get dirty. Yeah, no, that's Miller. It's going to bring up fourth down. I think we're going to see the punting unit here. High snap and a nice punt. And that's going to take a Bulldog bounce. There was nobody back for the Scorpions. And in turn, that's what happens to you. And it'll lead to a McCain Group first down. 1st and 10, ball at the 35-yard line. So Chase Tennant will lead his offense out onto the field. No, actually, I think it's Braddock. They're in that little beast formation. And look at that. Look at the wide open holes the offensive line is creating. And that's Braddock again in the beast offense, as they call it. Checking into the game is number 81, Javier Scott. For the Bulldogs, checking in on that defensive line, big number 81. Does not look like someone you really want to be fighting with in the trenches. He looks like he's got some strength to him. And what do? They run opposite to the gap he lines up in. That's just called being smart. Braddock will pick up another first down. And look at that. Look, the offensive line is literally getting off the initial push, 3 or 4 yards, boom, backing up the defense. And all Braddock is doing, he's just getting small, staying low, and running right behind that pile. change the quarter? Yes, I did. Haha. I'm so proud of myself. Now they go back into that wishbone formation. Braddock, the fullback. And they'll give it off to Kearney, or that's Miller. And that's what I tell you. Those 3-4 yard pops that were happening in the previous drive, there we go. That's 9 yards. Or that's 10 yards, and that's a first down. And I'll give them credit. They ran right at number 81. Right now, that shows you the confidence Coach has in his guys and the offensive line has right now. Is typically you see a guy like a kid like number 81, and you just we'll run opposite. No, we'll run right at you and force you to stop us. And this time, now they hand off to Braddock, and Braddock ball's loose, and the Dogs say they have it. Yes, the Bulldogs say they have it, and the referees agree. Coach Braddock not particularly too pleased there. They thought he was down, but you know who's going to hear the extra part of that? Because it was his son who had the football. And timeout will be called. I didn't see who called it, whether it was Satellite or Deland. So Deland calls their second timeout. The first timeout they called was literally before the first play of the game. 5:58 left to go here in the second quarter. I'd like to thank the McCann Group of Keller Williams Real Estate. Contact Lee at 239-297-9658 or contact Kelly at 239-297-9504. For all your real estate needs, especially beachside, the McCann Group Beachside are the go-to company. And he just ran into a mountain of humanity, eventually brought down there by number 0, Cristiano Juarez. 5:40 left to go here in the first half. Coming up at halftime, absolutely nothing. There's the toss, and he breaks the tackle. And great job. That was great tackling there by number 15 coming up. That's Ian Lacombe. And Lacombe, excellent job wrapping up at the hips and basically just saying, if you're going to spin, you're going to be carrying my weight with you. Looking to pass. It looked like it was going to be a halfback toss. That's going to bring up 4th down and 5 here for Deland. 4:20 left to go here in the second quarter. There's the snap. And look at the quarterback. That's number 4. Gabriel Cooper will pick up a first down for the Bulldogs. And a timeout now called by, I believe, Coach Braddock and the Satellite Beach Scorpions. Again, we'd also like to thank the Natwick Insurance, as you've seen on the graphic that pops up. The Natwick Insurance powers Brevard Sports Network. Eric Natwick, I don't care what insurance it is, auto, home, rental, whatever insurance you need, they got it for you over at Natwick Insurance. There's the snap. Number 4 fires. He's got a man and underthrows him, nearly intercepted. That's number 15. That's Lacombe. But it was, I believe, false start. 5-yard penalty, so that'll back it up, make it 1st and 5. What a nice little power gain there. Almost like the wishbone, but basically from the shotgun formation. And ball's on the ground. Ball's still on the ground. Recovered by Satellite Beach. Number 7 on the recovery. Braden Salavucci comes up with a fumble recovery. And right now, the things that you cannot have happen for Deland are happening. You can't turn the ball over in a game that's this close. One score separates you. 2:59 left to go in the second quarter. You can't. That matter of fact, that's the second turnover of the half. Being a fumble. I can tell you what a 12U practice is going to look like tomorrow, or this upcoming week. Braddock will pick up a couple of yards there out of the wishbone. When I was in high school, the coaches, running back coach, would have the running backs or wide receiver carry footballs around school. And we were told as offensive linemen, defensive linemen, to hit it out. And if we brought a ball back to coach, that was, we got a nice reward. So, that practice, that taught you practice. Kearney with a nice pickup there on second down. I mean, and you want to talk about creating some team camaraderie. Us linemen finding a running back, we knew where his next class was, so hiding behind the corner and coming out and trying to punch that ball out so we could all go cash in on a reward from coach. And the reward was different. Sometimes it was, hey, you know what? You can take 2 gassers off. You didn't have to, you could take 2 of those 100-yard gassers. You could take them off. And Miller picks up a nice couple of yards, and he should have himself a Satellite Beach and a McCann Group first down. Sometimes it was you swung by coach's office, and he had a nice snack waiting for you. Matter of fact, one time it was some Chick-fil-A sandwiches. I tell you, nothing tastes better after practice than a good Chick-fil-A sandwich that you didn't have to pay for at that. As I'm just changing something here. I like it. Old school football. Tennant's going to roll out, looking for receiver, throws, and miscommunication on where that ball was supposed to go. It was number 81, his intended receiver. That's Jordan Topier. And ball's on the ground. Satellite Beach recovers, and that could have been very bad. Third down and about 14 for Satellite Beach, and Coach Braddock's going to have a talk with his squad. You saw him kind of pointing to the head like, guys, lock in. Let's go. Concentrate. 54 seconds left to go here in the first half. Again, coming up at halftime, you can look at the scoreboard. Or maybe take 10 minutes to look at some college scores. I know the Gators and the Knights are playing. A lot of Brevard County talent in that game. Names like Ladarius Tennyson, Bryce Lovett, Cedric Hawkins. There's the gun, and he's going to roll out, and he's going to roll right into, that play was doomed from the start. Tennant is sacked, and we're going to have to give half sacks here because that's going to be number 5 and number 6, Jackson Lombardo, and number 6, Jarin Guilford. Jaron Guilford getting credit with a half a sack. And there's Miller. Miller has picked up a head of steam. Miller, one man to beat. To the end zone. Touchdown. Satellite Beach just as the quarter ends. And it's 13-0 pending the extra point. And Satellite has set themselves up with a 2-for-1, I believe. If I remember correctly, it was Deland got the ball first. So a possible 2-for-1 situation for Satellite. And, he hands it off to Kearney, and Kearney tried to take it in, and he does get it in. It's 14-0. Satellite Beach up as we roll into halftime. It's 14-0. Satellite Beach, and we'll be back in about 10 minutes right here on the Brevard Sports Network. Testing, testing. All right, all right, all right. All right. Ah, ah, all right. Nope. Okay, I was gonna ask, is that after the extended 3? Yeah. Because now it's bugging you that you can't like put the. All right. So I heard part of the conversation. All right, clock operator went down to the cooler, grabbed a Gatorade out of the cooler. The label said grape, that it was grape flavor, but it didn't have the like distinct, deep, dark purple that grape flavored soda or wow, try Gatorade has. Hold on 1 second, folks. All right, sorry, I was having a conversation with the one of the Deland coaches. And speaking of coaches, let me see if I can get him on. There's Coach Brian Helton of the Satellite Scorpions, making his presence known here on at Zach Seeley Field here during the 12U game. Head coach of the high school Satellite Scorpions. Start planting that seed. Hey, you should come play for me. I mean, theoretically, that's what this was. This is supposed to be. Satellite Beach Scorpions are supposed to be the feeder into Satellite High School. Just like SBYFL, it was designed to try to be a feeder to Vieira High School. But then the liberal transfer policy kind of took over, and now kids can go wherever they want. Anyway, that's another conversation for another day. We're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about second half of the 12U game between the Scorpions and the Bulldogs. Number 47 with kind of like a pooch kick and gives it to Miller. Miller finds himself a hole, and he will get across into Bulldog territory. Tajon Miller. Let me say his name correctly. Tajarion Miller gets it into Bulldog territory at about the 47-yard line. 1st and 10 for this Scorpions offense, which right now is just running the ball at will. And betting, or Tennant hands off. And that's going to be offsides, or check that, false start on the offense. There's the toss. And there's Kearney. Kearney follows a block and does an excellent job there of picking up about 5 yards on the play, 5, maybe 6 yards on the play. And instead of now it being 2nd and 15, that's going to make it now 3rd down. Or check that was 1st down. So this is now 2nd down and 6 compared to 1st and 15. Again, they ran the toss out of that wishbone offense. As someone said in the chat, that's, that wishbone is old school football. That's something you see Nebraska doing. A lot of teams of the SEC. Drops back to pass. He's got an open man, and unfortunately, because he tried to turn and jump for it, is only able to get one hand up. That's one of those, if you just run your route, just stay running, you're going to catch that in stride and hit your head on the goalpost. Look, I get it. The stop and making the one-hand catches are awesome. But it's also awesome. Continuing to run your route, getting hit in stride, and making everyone else eat your dust, so to speak. .803 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. I'd like to thank the McCann Group for stepping up and being sponsors for all the Satellite Beach home games. And here's Miller. Miller getting to the outside, cuts back inside, fights off with his shoulder, and will eventually be brought down behind the 10. And they will get him spotted. He'll have more than enough for a 1st down. Big pickup there on 4th down. Satellite Beach is doing things very just meticulously. Sitting in the huddle for long periods of time. Draining the clock. It's now 7 minutes left to go here in the quarter. Tennant on the snap. Tennant went for a little play action. There was nobody there. Rolling left. He's going to call his own number. Makes a man miss. Fights his way forward. However, there are 2 flags that were thrown, and they look to be in the direction of holding. Holding on the offense. That'll back him up 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and really long. Check that. So first and really long. About 1st and 15, 16. 6:43 left to go here in the third quarter. And Tennant's going to hand off to Miller. Miller with a stiff arm. Miller cuts back inside, dragging a couple of defenders with him. And he'll be short of the original line of scrimmage by about a yard or two. Or three. Second and 13 here for Satellite Beach. Sends Braddock in motion. Tennant drops back, steps up, fires. It's going to be caught. Makes a man miss. Makes another man miss. That's Braddock. Braddock on the reception. Braddock fighting off everybody, including his own lineman. If you touch Braddock, he's just going to try to shove you off of him. He doesn't care if you're his own lineman or if you're a defender. It's get off of me. It's going to make it 3rd and 5. Coming up on 5 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. There's a snap. He's going to roll right. Fires, goes underneath again. And guess what? He's got room to run. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Satellite Beach. And what was the number on, was that 81? If that was 81, I'm getting head shakes that it was Jordan Topier. Jordan Topier on the touchdown reception from 30-plus yards. And you know what? And that was a great job by Tennant. Tennant fakes the handoff, rolls, just throws it to him. Doesn't try to lead him. Doesn't try to give it to the guy. And he broke some tackles, made some athletic plays, and put it in the end zone. And he hands off to Miller, and Miller tripped up. But he is tripped up into the end zone, and it's 21-0 in favor of Satellite Beach. So something we found out in the 11U game, 11U Satellite Beach 11U, with their win today, as there's a player down for Deland. 11U Satellite Beach 11U with their win today has clinched the playoffs. So postseason bound is that 11U squad. Again, I got to ask Coach Braddock what the status of 14U was. I know last week when they played Suntree Vieira, he said a win would put them in a really good spot. And they lost last week, as a player is walking off under his own power, a little gingerly, but under his own power nonetheless. He said that would have put them in a really good spot. However, they lost last week. So does that mean, do they need other things for them to happen? Do they need to win out the rest of their games, or are they out? Coming up in 2 weeks, I believe, is the playoffs, because the last game is October 19th. October 19th, I believe, is the last week of the regular season. to then we start playoffs. And the road to Orlando will commence. And wait a minute. Get it how you live it, Tanto. Okay, no, okay. I don't want to sing too much, do too much of that song because I don't want to get copyrighted. Big stepper. So it'll bring up 1st and 10 here for Satellite Beach, taking over at about the 40, or not Satellite Beach, for Deland, taking over at their own 49-yard line. Currently down 21-0. Trying to get something going here. As big number 60 checks into the game. That's Christopher Rayborn. And a timeout taken. Was that taken by Deland again? So Deland takes the timeout before the first play of the first half. And then they're taking a timeout again before the first play of the second half. I'd have to almost wonder if that's just by design that they do that. Because that seems like a weird coincidence to have to do before your first offensive possession, before your first offensive play of each half, having to take a timeout. And if it's not by design, I can tell you he's not happy. Because no coach likes to just throw away timeouts like that. Almost over his head. Number 17 trying to find some place to get out of here. That's Grayson Gingerich. Grayson Gingerich now in at quarterback, trying to get something started for this Deland offense. Comes out in the pistol, 2-by-2 set. Drops, pumps, fires, and that pass went to the ground. 3:41 left to go here in the third quarter. Coming up next, the 14U game right here on the Brevard Sports Network. Again, live on the Facebook page and on the YouTube page. So there shouldn't be a reason you can't tag family members and direct them to where to go. We get it. There's some that aren't on Facebook, so we try when the signal's strong enough to stream on both Facebook and YouTube. And goodness gracious, that defensive line for the Scorpions, led by number 7, Braden Salvucci. Salvucci leading the charge on that sack. 3.5 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. And some things are being said. It's getting chippy. Personal foul. I'm guessing it's some sort of unsportsmanlike conduct. Someone could have said something. I didn't see anything happen. Okay. All right, so I was off over here promoting the channel, and all of a sudden I miss a personal foul. The quarterback gets shoved after the play, and you know what? Yeah, you got to call it. And now that's a false start on Deland. And look, you know, I don't know what Deland's playoff situation looks like, but coming down to last couple of weeks, you know, again, I don't know what their record is. I don't know what their playoff situation is. But if they're not in it, then, you know, it's almost like, what do you have to lose? You know, you kind of say a little something to spur a reaction. I mean, I'm not saying, any never would insinuate any athlete is an instigator, but there are some that specialize in being said instigator and just know how to get under people's skin. Now number 4 back in at quarterback fires, and it's incomplete. Great defense there by number 15. That's Lacombe. That's Ian Lacombe. And on the pass breakup, great coverage. And that was a turnover on downs. So now Satellite Beach will get the ball 1st and 10 with 2.5 minutes left to go here in the third quarter on the Deland 49-yard line. Coincidentally, that's where Deland started that previous drive. And gives it to Kearney. Kearney slips a tackle. Kearney to the outside. Kearney! Landon Kearney! Down the sideline. Oh, he was trying to reach for it. He was barely tracked down. Great touchdown saving tackle by number 47, Carson Elkins. But Kearney nearly had himself a 49-yard touchdown rush. I mean, he could see it. As soon as he felt himself being touched, he tried to reach it over that goal line. He tried so hard and got so far. But can Satellite Beach really make it matter? Or will he be singing Linkin Park all night? And there's a handoff up the middle. Touchdown, Satellite Beach. I didn't see who had that touchdown run. And they gave it back to Kearney. They let him finish off the drive. Only makes sense. I mean, he got it down to the 1-yard line. Give him at least an attempt. So it's 27-0. A extra point here sends the clock into fast forward. And by fast forward, I mean running clock. And they're going to throw it up. And his receiver says, "Hey, I'm right here. Why'd you throw it over there?" You'd almost have to think. So it's 27-0 with 1:40 left. And Tennant's not, I'll say this, Tennant is not the type of quarterback that would miss that throw by that wide of a margin. I can understand on accident, but, I mean, he literally popped up and just whoosh. So, who knows? Maybe the wind got a really strong wind, got a hold of that one and sent it sailing way farther. I say it as the wind is blowing in my face, not remotely north or south. But you never know. You never know. Coming out to kick is number 13, Matthias Gomes. And there's a squib kick. And whistles blow this one dead, which probably means it was offsides on the kicking team. Oh. I'm being told it might have been it fell off the tee at the last second. Oh, wow. Kicked it right into the front line. And wait. So they're going to call the inadvertent whistle. And that's what that was. Because I didn't see him drop to a knee.
I think you see the play. It's forward progress anyway. At the end of the day, you blow the whistle, they let him go, he goes, right? So like they don't keep tackling the guy because then it's a penalty because they're
Right. Yeah.
just tackling a guy for no reason. I understand what you're saying. They're heated because they lose by 20.
Right. Inadvertent whistle, but it's just yeah. Oh no! Listen, I've seen it in a playoff game with Satellite Beach. Satellite Beach 14U taking on Suntree Riviera 14U in the second round of the ECC playoffs. What some people heard a whistle, some didn't. The ref said I didn't blow a whistle, and the ball was taken out of the quarterback's hands, and the defense turned it into a touchdown off a scoop and score. Fires incomplete. It's number 17 in at quarterback. That's Grayson Gingerich. Gingerich's pass was incomplete. 1:09 left to go here in the third quarter. And a penalty on the offense. And that's a long penalty. It's a personal foul. So again, I didn't see anything, but I think something could have been said. You can get personal fouls for saying the wrong thing. Gingerich fires. And that's going to be a reception. Oh no, they're going to call it an interception. So what they're ruling is that he intercepted the ball, went to the ground, and he was then considered down because he had full possession of the ball. All right. I mean that makes sense. But I don't know. To me, it almost looked like they caught it like it was intercepted and then the ball attempted to be gripped out while they were still midair. So that's why I didn't know what happened. So all right, they rule the interception, and Satellite Beach, with 56 seconds left, has the opportunity for an offensive drive here. And he's going to hand it off to Miller. Miller getting grabbed by the face mask. I mean, okay. Again, the officials have done a terrific job all day today. They have. But when two hands are around a player's helmet, and one looked like it was sitting on the face mask. And there's Kearney on the handoff, and Deland, the D-line, got full penetration, and truly said, you're not going anywhere. That'll be the final play of the third quarter with your score. Satellite Beach 27, Deland 0. My bad. I didn't realize I was muted. Oops. I wonder how long that's been muted for. Has that been muted since the start of the fourth quarter? Oops. I apologize for that one, folks. Sometimes you think you hit the button, and that's a false start. All right, so I'm going to check something here because I know someone would have said something. Let me see if anyone did say something. Okay, yeah. So someone. All right, I apologize. I sincerely apologize for that. There's a snap. And Miller again in on the tackle. So this is going to bring up where's the yard marker? 3rd and a trip back to Deland with 6:47 left to go here in the third quarter. Or fourth quarter. And there's the spin move, and he'll pick up a couple of yards. It's still going to bring up 4th, and officially we'll call it 23 yards. 4th and 23 for the Bulldogs. As number 99 checks in for the Scorpions, it's James Kinsey, big number 99. There's the snap. Stops, fires. Did he catch that? Incomplete. I thought he might have gotten his hands around it. Incomplete, turnover on downs. So again, coming up after this broadcast, we got the 14U game, which should be really interesting. The amazing duo of Jackson Mobley and Ja'Cory Mills. This is Ja'Cory Mills' second week back with Satellite Beach. Saw him in his week 1 return last week against the Sun Riviera Hawks. They fell. But I'll tell you what, you saw a lot of the same explosion that we've come to love seeing from Ja'Cory Mills. And the Scorpions having a bit of an issue getting the right personnel. I'd like to thank everyone who's been hanging out with me today all day long here on the Brevard Sports Network watching youth football. There's the toss there out to, I think that was Kearney. No, it wasn't. It was Kearney on the carry. .450 left to go here in the ball game. So coming up after this, I will end the feed and get the dice ready for 14U. Kearney continues to fight forward and now just getting wrestled back. It's going to be 3rd down and about 11. There's the handoff to Kearney. And Kearney breaks through one set of tackles, but not able to break the second set. It's going to be a loss of yardage. It's going to be 4th down, and we'll call it 15. 14 or 15. Tennant sends Braddock in motion. Tennant fires to Braddock. Braddock. It'll be a nice reception, but short of a 1st down. With 3 minutes and 7 seconds remaining in the ball game. Random bursts of music blast across Zach Seeley Field. .252 left to go here in, and almost had a big, that was number 47 on the carry. That was Carson Elkins on the carry. And behind the tents, can't see the action that's happening. There's number 4 on the run, Gabriel Cooper. There's the snap. Cooper fires. He's got a man, incomplete. Ball is underthrown, incomplete. It's going to bring up 4th down and about 4. Maybe 3. Two minutes left to go here in the game. And that'll be a turnover on downs as Grayson Gingerich could not pick up the 1st down. So it'll be a turnover on downs, and Satellite Beach will have it with 1:53 left to go in the game. I believe Deland doesn't have the ability to stop the clock, so theoretically 2 or 3 plays and this should be done. Theoretically.
They're running their second string right now.
Miller, Braddock. All right, and we're taking a knee. With a minute left to go, one more knee should do it. If they're going to wait, the referee's going to basically allow him to. He's going to allow him to wait till the 45-second mark, or the 40-second mark, and then say, hey, go ahead and take a knee. And the ref's not going to make them snap in another game, and Satellite Beach will pick up the 27-0 victory. So that Satellite Beach has only lost one game on the day. They're trying to keep it that way for 14U. Can they do it? You'll have to find out next time here on the Brevard Sports Network in about, I don't know, a few minutes.